Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television, from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources. Today, let's ask Amanda Walker of Hibiscus Court Assisted Living and Memory Care what assisted living can mean in your life.
I'm Kerry Fink with Helping Seniors of Brevard. Welcome to today's edition of Helping Seniors TV. This is the show that's designed to educate, inform, and connect you to the resources that will help you in developing your own aging plan. As we often euphemistically call it, we call it helping you get your ducks in a row. And what do we mean by that? We mean in an aging plan, this is a concept that our president and founder, Joe Steckler, has talked about almost since day one. The challenge with looking ahead at aging is we just really don't know from day to day or moment to moment or year by year what changes and things are going to happen other than changes somewhat inevitable. Living here in Florida, we kind of get it when they tell us, do you have a hurricane plan? What does that mean? Are you going to board up your house? Are you fixed with supplies you might need in case of an extended power outage? Are you ready? Will you leave town? What is your different plan to survive what might happen? You certainly hope the hurricane never comes near your house, but you want to be prepared just in case. And that's a little bit what we talk about with an aging plan. It's a model, it's a definition, it's a plan designed to help you navigate some of the things that happen to seniors along the way. And again, it's not wishing that these happen or hoping that they happen, but I can tell you, as we've interviewed so many people in the business, they often echo the fact that we really wish we'd had an opportunity to talk to the family, say 30 days before some critical incident severely limited the options that were available at that point. So today, we're so excited on this program, we're going to talk about what assisted living can mean in your life, and particularly what it can mean if we're talking about some challenges with memory and needing some help in memory care. And so we brought in one of our long time friends of the Helping Seniors organization. It's Hibiscus Court Assisted Living and Memory Care right there on Hibiscus Boulevard, fairly close to where Holmes Regional is. And with Hibiscus Court, longtime friend Amanda Walker. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
So glad you could be here, because one of the things is I know your own personal expertise and knowledge that you share not only with people directly involved in Hibiscus Court, but you spend a lot of time out in the community helping gain an understanding for families and people who care for them, everything about dementia, Alzheimer's, and things like that. Talk a little bit about why that's such an important place to be in a community like Brevard County.
Oh, absolutely. With Brevard County having so many seniors, what 50% is over the AARP definition.
Yeah, right.
It's inevitable, whether it's a dementia journey or just aging, that memory concerns happen. Unfortunately, we do live in a world right now where Alzheimer's is one of the leading causes of deaths for elderly, and there's I don't want to say a lack of education, but sometimes a lack of understanding on the part of families, of community, of understanding what memory loss means, that under that Alzheimer's or that dementia umbrella. So it's really important to not only educate the community, but educate families, which Hibiscus Court does and offers. And we also offer the ability to help those that are on a dementia journey still live in an independent lifestyle while getting the support that they need in a safe environment in our assisted living. So I think that's really what sets us apart here in the county too.
Yeah, you do so many things I've noticed along the way at Hibiscus Court, like you guys are really serious about helping the community understand the virtual dementia tour. What is that, and how does that help people get a grip on what their loved ones are facing?
Yes. So our virtual dementia tour is a training that puts you into the shoes of someone that is on a memory journey or that falls underneath that dementia umbrella. So we basically, we alter your senses. So it goes very extreme. and altering the senses of what a lot of our residents and our loved ones who are on a dementia journey go through. So your hearing, your eyesight, even the way that you can pick up things, all gets altered. I don't want to share too much because it's an experience everyone should go through. And then we basically ask you to complete everyday tasks. A variety of things from putting on a shirt to writing a letter to setting a table. And instead of it just being someone who's sitting here talking to you about what dementia is, it's actually putting you into the shoes of our residents and of your loved ones so you can get a better understanding of what they're going through, with the hopes then that you can learn how to communicate and approach your loved one in a better manner that will help them on their day-to-day more than like frustrate them and frustrate you. Yeah. So as simple as the way you approach someone who maybe is further along in their dementia journey, their eyesight isn't as great as it used to be, so approaching from behind will startle and scare. Where approaching from the front and getting down at their level or getting eyesight with them will calm them in seeing someone versus being startled by someone.
Yeah. You know, when you're talking about this, one of the thoughts that occurs to me is it's such a challenging, I guess I'd call it a realization. Maybe sometimes it comes with a diagnosis, or maybe it's just you're realizing that maybe piece by piece something is changing with that loved one. And there's a place that we've talked about so often. Initially, you're kind of a caregiver, but that burden just goes on and is kind of unrelenting, especially as everything progresses. And one of the things that I think is so important about what you're doing, first of all, in just helping the community understand a little better what somebody going through with dementia is, because first, I guess there's a challenge that you're just frustrated, like somehow if I say this louder, they're going to get it, or, those kind of things. Right. But you're really giving them a sense for it's not that simple.
Right. Sometimes louder isn't better, because what happens is you and I can sit here and we can hear each other face to face. Someone on a dementia journey is hearing the TV that's 5 doors down or that's in the other room. So it's not that they can't hear you, it's that they're distracted by something else that's caught their hearing. So learning some of that will help the caregiver with the caregiver frustration as much, if not more, than helping your loved one who is on that dementia journey. Alzheimer's and all other dementias are just as hard, if not harder, on the caregiver than it is on the actual person with the disease.
I've heard that often. Is it true that if the caregiver isn't careful for themselves, that they may not outlast the person they're caring for?
Yes, unfortunately, that is a really awful statistic. But yes, a lot of times our caregivers, they wear themselves out by not taking care of themselves, by being so devoted and so focused on their loved one, which God bless, you want that, right? And your children and your partner and your friends. But they get so focused on caring for their loved one that's on that dementia journey that they don't care for themselves. And then they end up falling ill or falling sick, and then there's nobody. Their loved one is then left with nobody to care for them.
I was thinking about this. We have operated Helping Seniors of Brevard as a Florida charity. Joe Steckler, our president and founder, established this in 2011. So we're actually now moving into our 12th year of service. And we operate the county, as you know, the county senior information helpline, which is a free call to 321-473-7770. That's our number, 321-473-7770. And Nancy Deerdorf, our operations manager, kind of is front line with a lot of those calls. And what we have learned along the way is that we hear some unusual cases. I remember one that was kind of interesting. It was a lady who was in her 90s. Her daughter, who was in her late 60s, was caregiver for her, but now she had to go in the hospital for some medical attention and was concerned about, how am I going to manage this with my mother, who's, again, in the 90s? And so I can see the stress. Here you are, you're worried about your own situation of things doctors are telling you need to get under control, and yet now you're not in a position to even help the person that you had committed and wanted to help on their journey. I think that's one of the places where what you do as Hibiscus Court can make such a difference to a family.
Yeah, so Hibiscus Court does offer more than just assisted living. We offer day program stays, and we also offer respite stays. So in that example, a 60-something-year-old taking care of their 90-year-old mother, she's able to take care of mom at home, wants to continue taking care of mom at home, but she needs to go have surgery for herself. We can then work with them and we can take care of mom. Mom can come and stay with us on a respite stay, which is a short-term stay, kind of like going to a hotel. You know, you pack your bags of all your favorite things and then, you know, you join us, Hibiscus Hilton, for a week, where you get all of your meals taken care of, you get housekeeping, laundry, and then you also get activities plus socialization and friendship with the residents that we already have living in our community. And then same thing goes for the caregivers that maybe it's a grandchild that is taking care of grandma because something happened to her own parents. And, you know, a grandchild is going to be my age and still working full time. So we also offer a day program. So someone can come and, you know, their grandma can come and spend the day with us, getting all that Hibiscus has to offer. A lot of times we like to use that too for families who are going, oh, you know, grandma doesn't really want an assisted living because she thinks it's like those old school nursing homes, you know, and it's not like that anymore. So our day program does also offer the opportunity to come in and see what life at Hibiscus is like, get familiar with it, see that it's fun and it's like being at a hotel or being on a cruise ship. Your laundry gets taken care of, your meals get cooked for you. There's always entertainment and activities and staff, friendly staff to take care of you, that maybe they go back home and go, oh, you know, that wasn't that bad.
You know, that's a thing that we've talked about a lot. The problem for most of us who are not day-to-day invested into this, I would call it the care and love for seniors, is that we remember when we were maybe younger and we went to visit great-grandma, and all we remember was a not-so-fond memory of a place that was dark. It was depressing. A lot of people, like, they didn't look like they're doing really well at all, and it was a little bit scary. And yet the thing is, that's not where this is now.
No.
I wanted to ask you, because I thought this was fascinating when we were talking about your own background. I said, how did you get into this? She said, I was in the hospitality industry. And the one thing I do know about Hibiscus Court is you guys are like the party place. I mean, every time I look at your Facebook page or things like that, tell me how all that comes together to benefit us seniors. It's pretty amazing.
We love to party at Hibiscus Court. You know, just because you're older doesn't mean that you can't still enjoy dancing, dressing up funny, and having a good time with not only your friends and our other residents, but with our staff. So anytime that we can throw a party and that we can theme it and we can all dress up, that's what we're going to do, because one, it keeps our staff entertained and our staff happy. And then also our residents enjoy it. They love, even if they don't dress up with us, they love seeing us come out dressed like dinosaurs or coming out, which I might have done. Or, you know, dressing like them. We do a twin day and, you know, we'll kind of like pick a resident that we want to twin with and, you know, we'll dress up just like them or they'll dress up just like us. So whichever the resident wants to do. But it just keeps everything youthful and fun, and it's not gloomy, and you're not moving out of your home and giving up your life. You're moving into a mansion, which is what we like to call it, and you're gaining 70 new friends to spend time with. So really, like going on a cruise ship.
Yeah, you know, we've done a number of television shows over the years because you guys have been friends with the Helping Seniors organization for many years. So I remember going back and doing a show with Heidi Kuchenbacker, who's like, you're now in 24 years, I think you were telling me, of Hibiscus Court. And she was the executive director locally for a great deal of those, and really, I think, set a model and a tone for where you guys go in terms of senior care. And I remember she did a show with us called How to Have the Talk, about when it's time for assisted living. And I'll never forget one of the things that she said, because it was so interesting. She goes, what do you do if you win the lottery? Right? You're going to hire a chauffeur, you're going to hire a gardener, you're going to hire a cook, you're going to hire somebody to help you with the laundry, you're going to do all that. She goes, well, what do you think happens when you come to Hibiscus
Yeah.
Court? And I thought, wow, that's an interesting way to play it.
Listen, if I could move in just so someone would do my laundry, I would move in.
And then not only is it that, but I wanted to ask you about this. A lot of times, if you're the family of a senior and you say, well, listen, mom really likes to stay by herself. She's not a real party person. She's kind of, she just likes to sit at home, be comfortable and watch the TV and things like that. And a lot of times I think as adult children of parents, we're protective that way. And we don't know, like, wow, if I move her out of the home and into, she's going to feel like she's being institutionalized or something like that. And maybe there's a little bit of guilt in all that. I'm not sure. And yet I've seen it. I've personally witnessed it. You take somebody who was basically just blankly staring at a TV all day at home with no social interaction, and then they move into like a Hibiscus Court, and all of a sudden everything has changed. They have friends. They have a reason to get up in the morning. Everything's moving.
Yes. I mean, and there are still going to be some that move in that are still a little bit more introverted. They're not necessarily looking for our big wild prom parties or, Halloween parties. But that's the great thing about Hibiscus Court. Our Spark lifestyle is individualized care and individualized day-to-day programming for all of our residents. So if we have someone that is less likely to put on a funny costume and come boogie away on Halloween with us, we will meet them where they're at. So we'll come up with one-on-one activities or just to go do sit in coffee talks with them or just spend time with them. A lot of families, you did say, families do get that guilt. They get that like, oh, but we're not, but mom really loves her home and she thinks we're just gonna drop her off at the door and leave her. And I think that that's the thing that Hibiscus Court, what sets us apart is that once you walk in, you know that you're not gonna just drop and leave mom at the door. And mom knows that you're not either because we're so family focused. We couldn't do all that we do in our community without our families coming and being a part of it too. So we are always wide open, ready to have our families joining us.
Well, one of the things I think that's beneficial, I've noticed you guys have so many activities for the seniors there. You're a great location for access to medical care and things like that. You have a full, talk about just dining at Hibiscus Court. You guys are set up on that in a major way too. Yeah,
we have a wonderful executive chef, Yvonne. She's been with us for, I want to say 6 years.
Wow.
I could be dating her. Sorry, Yvonne. But she's wonderful. She comes up with wonderful meal plans for our residents that meet their nutritional needs. And we have restaurant style dining. So it's just like going and sitting down at a restaurant with a server who will come. They'll tell you what the special for lunch is. And then if maybe you're not a big meatloaf person and that's the lunch special, there's also a menu available that you can order off of. So I always call it the comfort food menu. It has all of my favorites on it and a lot of the same favorites that our residents truly enjoy. So they have lots of opportunities to choose from. Plus we have snacks and treats and things throughout the day because you can't throw a wild dance party without having refreshments at it.
That's another aspect, right? Because when somebody's sitting at home, are they actually getting the correct nutrition? Are they just grabbing for the candy bar or something that's close by because they're not in a position maybe to make a nutritious meal? And that's kind of something you guys take into account.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of adult children don't live locally with their loved ones, and it's a phone call, maybe twice a day, but it's a phone call twice a day where mom is, putting on the smile and everything is great and everything's wonderful. And then we do get a lot of families that join them for the holidays or for a weekend and they look in mom's cabinet and it's just canned soups and, cheese and bread and wondering if mom had any breakfast or if she had lunch or when was the last time she had a home cooked meal and not a frozen microwave dinner. So it is definitely something that's a benefit to Hibiscus Court and assisted living is that your meals are taken care of and they're meeting the nutritional and the dietary needs that your loved one has.
So all too often you probably get introduced to families at times of great stress. Maybe something just happened. It's not safe for mom to go back home or whatever the case is going because of, maybe there was a fall or something else going on that required hospital and rehab and all that. And it's just everybody's kind of realizing, wow, we're at that place. You guys are adept at helping families make that transition, even if it's not the best way. You'd probably prefer to have them come in way ahead of time. But let's talk about it. Somebody is just now, they're dealing with I would call it the aftermath of a crisis. You guys have the experience to help somebody through that.
Yes, absolutely. We wish they would have called us sooner. Yeah. That first little gut instinct or that little inkling of hanging up the phone from mom and going, oh, mom didn't really sound like mom tonight. That would be ideally when we would like families to reach out to us. But no, a lot of times it is after crisis. It's mom fell and now she's at the hospital, or, mom broke her arm and now she's in rehab. And that crisis mode is so much harder on the families and on mom. But yes, Hibiscus can help in all of those ways to transition from hospital, rehab, or home to assisted living.
The other thing that I think is probably valuable, ideally somebody's going to get in touch with you early on and start to really evaluate and say, this might be the way I should think about this for my relative. But one of the things that seems to be comforting about how you guys are set up, you have a level of supervision and an ability to move people as their care needs would escalate.
Yes. So we are able to age in place. Mm-hmm. So we have residents that are independent, mm-hmm. All the way to residents that are a little bit further along, maybe towards the end of a dementia journey. So Hibiscus Court is a secured assisted living. We're one of the only ones where we don't have lots of exits and doors that residents can come from. Our independent residents don't even realize it because we have someone that sits at the front desk that opens the door ready for them to go. And then our residents who may be on a little bit more of a dementia journey and shouldn't be going out the front door on their own, we have lots of different things in place to help redirect. Mm-hmm. And so they never even get to that front door to realize that front door is locked.
Wow.
And so we are able to allow loved ones to move in at a more independent lifestyle and then stay within that same apartment, mm-hmm. even if they end up on a memory journey. And then if their memory journey takes them further along where their care needs are higher than what we can do in our assisted living, we do have, we call it our garden. So we do have a memory care. So again, it's gonna be the same familiarity, the same staff, the same nurses, the same executive director, the same chef, the same waiters and servers. You're just now your loved one's gonna be in a portion of the community that has the ability to meet those higher care needs.
Well, that's another important part of this, right? Because as those things progress, our president has always talked about a thing he calls elements of care. And what he means by that is you want to apply the appropriate level that you need to help that senior at that particular place in time. And it may escalate. Some cases it could de-escalate. Maybe it was just the aftermath of a hospital stay and mm-hmm. a little extra help is needed, and maybe they're able to get back on their feet. But one of the things that Joe means when he talks about the elements of care is that you have to be careful to not overpay for things that you don't need until you need them. And it sounds like one of the advantages of what you're able to do with that kind of integrated facility is you're able to move people along those elements of care as the case kind of requires it, is maybe a way to say it.
Right. We're always going to meet mom's care needs as we start seeing mom's needs change.
Right.
And we keep the families involved, and there's always open communication with the families right. too. So we don't make any decisions about mom's care needs with ensuring that the family has been involved already. So, we'll make care needs in the moment if it's necessary, but we don't ever, once we start seeing like, okay, maybe mom needs a little more help, a little more direction getting through the community. She's not necessarily remembering how to get to dining, or she's not necessarily remembering how to get to activities. By the time we think mom might need more care, or maybe needs to move to an apartment that's a little bit closer to the nursing station, or move into our garden, the family's already been in conversations with us the whole time, and we've already prepared them for it. We've already educated them on it, and they haven't just gotten those snapshots when they come to visit, because we're communicating with them the whole time.
That must be very reassuring to the families to know that somebody, that this is, to put it bluntly, that you guys have kind of a roadmap and experience to deal with these situations. It's going to be the first time probably for the family, but it's not the first time that you've been confronted with this situation. So it really puts you in a position to lead and guide the family through all of that.
That's what we try our best to do. I have a lot of families that apologize to me. I'm so sorry that mom's having a rough day. You plan on this. It just recently happened. Like, we've been planning on moving mom. Mom was really excited to move and to make new friends and to have a new environment. And then the day of the move comes and mom is not happy.
Yeah.
And you can't blame her, right? It's scary. It's scary for us to move. It's scary for us to make new friends. So imagine kind of being on a memory journey and now having your entire life uprooted. So we have a lot of families that apologize. I'm so sorry, mom's having a rough day, mom's having a bad day. And for us, mom's just having a day. And that's, we're here to help mom. And a lot of times that's where the benefit of it is that we, like you said, we're so familiar with it that we have lots of tricks of the trade. And also it not coming from son or daughter or spouse, it comes across in a much different way to where we can kind of get across to mom differently than listening to her son.
Yeah. Such good information that we're talking about. If somebody wants to give you a call or maybe have a tour or take a look, what's the best way to reach you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can reach us at 321-951-1050. You can also email me at hibiscuscourt@slm.net.
Well, it's great. And I would encourage you, as we were talking about before, to get involved early. Take the time now, have a tour, find out what options are. Just get a general understanding. You'll be so much farther ahead on your own aging plan or the aging plan you're trying to help mom and dad with. So on behalf of Joe Steckler, our president and founder, our whole Helping Seniors team, sure do appreciate you being here today with us, Amanda, talking up a little bit about so we can gain some more understanding of the help that's available for memory care and some ways to get a better understanding of dementia and Alzheimer's in general. So till next time, we'll see you here on Helping Seniors.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses, and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.